Alrighty guys, so welcome to another tutorial on Xskode Media. Today we are going to continue from where we left off on the last episode. Now in the last episode what we did is we created the whole entire pathfinding system for the player. Today what we're going to do is work on letting the player interact with a treasure chest and receiving the loot inside of it as well. So without any further ado, let's dive on into some programming, guys. Alright, so first is first, you want to make your treasure chest sprite. I already downloaded this from the internet. You can do the same or make your own. It doesn't matter, just for tutorial purposes anyways. So just go ahead and create your item chest. Alright, after that hit OK and don't forget to center it. Okay. After that, let's go ahead and create the object. We'll name this object item chest, just like that. And we'll give it the item chest sprite. We'll go ahead and hit OK, and we're going to and we're going to put the item chest inside the room. We can just put it right here. Let's hit save. Alrighty, so now since that's done, we need to go ahead and start making the whole entire script for interacting. Now first is first, we're going to do the left press. So if you press the left mouse button on this item, we need to make sure a few things first. We need to make sure the player is within the looting range. If he or she is, then the looting item will be received. Otherwise, we will go ahead and create a GoTo object, making the player move closer to the object. So let's go ahead and checking players looting range. So if collision circle, we'll do a circle with X, Y, radius will be global dot looting range. We did not create that variable, don't worry, we will do that right after this line of program. With object player precise, false, we don't need necessarily precise, and not me, true. Alright, real quick before we forget, let's go into the variable object and create this variable global dot what was it called, looting range. Now I made it a variable so then the players can also upgrade that as well when they level up, so on, etc. Alright, let's go ahead and save. Now let's head back into here. So if player is within the looting range, we're going to now give player loot. Alright, we don't have any loots yet, so let's go ahead and create one, shall we? Inside the object item chest, we'll create a create event. Okay. Player, our hill player, and that will be like a 50. There you go. So what we'll do now is, well, what do you make a lot of treasure chests, right? So let's do this. My loot 1, or my loot healing. There we go. And the reason why we did that is for later. If we make a whole bunch of different loots, it'll be much easier, much more easier to make sure it's different for that object, because not every item chest is going to have the exact loot in it, you know. So we'll do my loot. So global dot player HP plus equals my loot. Alright, and there we have it. Now, if the player is not within the looting range, we are going to then create a GoTo object. Now this GoTo, the way we're going to create the GoTo object is exactly like the one we made in the player. So what we actually are going to do is go into the player, and yes, we are going to copy and paste just this from the create object else up to this. Okay. Because it's exactly the same thing. Exactly the same thing. So we'll do that. We'll go ahead and paste that inside. Fix it up a little bit. Okay. Blah, blah. Just making sure, yes, everything's correct. Mouse X, mouse Y, mouse X, mouse Y. If it already exists, then we're going to go ahead and destroy the object. Okay, then we create the new ones. Alright, awesome. So now there's a few things that we need to do actually. And one of the things we need to do is we need to make sure it doesn't create two of the same GoTo objects, right? Now, we could just leave it like, actually we can just leave it like this, because if there is another one on the field, it will simply just destroy it. Just like that. Okay, so then we are good. We can close that up. Close that up as well. Hit the save. Let's go back into here. So now there's a few things that we need to do. Actually, let's test this real quick because I think we already did it, to be honest. Alright, so, oh, no, let's go back. There are a few things that we need to do. We need to draw some stuff on the screen so that we know the game is actually working correctly. So we are going to testing only, just like that, and then we're going to draw text 150, I guess 150, yeah, why not? And we'll do string global dot players HP, so then we know the player receives the HP, right? And one more thing, we need to draw the draw self command. Alright. Alright, so we have 150 HP. Let's see what happens. We click there, we click here, we click there. Good, it destroyed it as well. Player's moving back. And we are on it. So if we click again, we should actually receive the HP. Let's see what happens. 200, 250, awesome, sweet, perfect. I like that, just like that. So now we need to do one more thing though to fix this up, and that is simply back into the item chest left press event inside of here. Once the player receives the loot, we need to destroy the treasure chest. Right. If we had an open sprite, we can have it to where the treasure chest is open and it just stays open. But in this case, we'll just destroy it. Okay. There we go. We received 200. We click here again. Nothing happens. That is great. Object is destroyed. Now, there's one more thing we're going to do real quick before we end. Is we're going to update the little pathfinding system in here, because when I was looking over this stuff, I realized that if we keep it just like this, where we're going to avoid object walls, then if we created like a lake, we need to simply copy and paste that again and put object lake. So how do we avoid doing all that stuff that really is pointless? Simple. We go over to the objects, we create another object, and we're going to call this object avoid. And then we're going to, yep, you guessed it, we're going to make that the parent, object avoid, okay? And inside of here, we're going to change object wall to, yes, object avoid. Now what that will do is that will work just like always. We will simply avoid whatever it is we want to avoid, or whatever it is we make sure the player avoids when walking. And as you can see, still avoiding the walls. Look at that. Awesome. Great. That's very great. Alrighty guys, so there you have it. I'm gonna go ahead and center the wall as well real quick. Well, there you have it. So this is making an interactive environment with treasure chests, stuff like that. Yeah, that was weird. I don't know why it jumped like that, but okay. Okay, that was very weird, but yes, there you have it. So today what we did is we created the interacting environment script, and we also updated the pathfinding system for the player to make sure that you can avoid any kind of object now that you want the player to avoid whenever you click him to go to a certain location. Much more easier. And we did that by creating a parent object, and we called that object avoid. And any object we want to be avoided, we simply put that object avoid as the parent of the object we want to be avoided. Alrighty guys, so there you have it. This was the episode 2 for creating an action battle system. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on the upcoming videos as well. And if you liked it, go ahead and hit that like button too, because that helps out a lot. If you haven't already, go ahead and follow me on Twitter so that you can stay up to date with the current videos releasing, and you can also stay up to date with my current video game project that I am working on as well. Alrighty guys, so thank you all for coming out and watching, and like always, see you in the next video. Later guys.